Hello and welcome to the Nerd Entertainment Weekly Show, or as I like to call it, the News. And look, we have a somewhat new set. So, first up today, I want to talk about something that came out literally about 5 minutes after I posted my video last week, so I didn't want to re-record the whole thing, so we're going to talk about it this week. I'm a little bit late to the party, but, we'll get there now. So the big news this week is that Microsoft has bought Zenimax, which is the company that owns Bethesda and all the studios associated with it. That means Xbox now has access to Doom, Dishonored, Fallout, Skyrim, and Wolfenstein, plus loads more, and all those studios that produce them. So they bought the company for a reported $7.5 billion, which is... That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money for a couple of game studios. Obviously, there is a lot more that goes into it, and we probably don't know all the details. But that does mean now that technically all of those games I just mentioned are Xbox exclusives. And that also weirdly includes Deathloop and Ghostwire, which are PlayStation 5 exclusives. So Phil Spencer has said that those games are still going to come out on PlayStation 5. So don't worry, PlayStation 5, you are still getting Deathloop, which honestly looks fantastic. But after that, he said that the rest of the games will come on a case-by-case basis, and as a PlayStation fanboy and a Skyrim fanboy, that scares me a little bit because I can't deal with not having Skyrim on the PlayStation 5. I guess I'll just get it on the PC. So things this means that Game Pass is going to get incredible. Like, Game Pass is already a really good deal, but now Game Pass is going to have a lot of new stuff on it. They've announced that Doom Eternal will be the first game on October 1st, so in literally a couple of days, that's going on Game Pass, which is incredible. Like, Game Pass is a really good deal already, now it's going to get even better. One of the last little things I wanted to mention about this, Obsidian, who made the Outer Worlds, which is the dev team that's made up of mostly devs from the Fallout New Vegas team, now that they're an Xbox studio and Bethesda's an Xbox studio, it kind of means they have access to the Fallout IP again, which means Fallout New Vegas 2? That would be really cool. I know they hinted to it on Twitter. Nothing's been announced, obviously, but, that would be really exciting. Fallout New Vegas is probably the best Fallout game, and I'd love to see another one, and that's now huge. I mean, overall, this is cool, but at the same time very worrying, because that's a lot of really, really popular games. Now, as someone that is switching over to a PC, I'm not really fussed about it, but if you play PlayStation exclusively, you could be losing out on a lot of games. And I mean a lot. But, we'll have to wait and see where it goes. It's kind of scary that Xbox can just swing its dick around like that. That's, again, $7.5 billion. Anyway, next up, in more Xbox news, they had pre-orders, and guess what? They were a shit show as well. I think more people got them than they got the PS5, but at the same time, they were just a mess. And the funny thing to come out of it was that the sales of the Xbox One X increased by 400%, because that will be parents buying their kids the new Xbox and not knowing what they're called. Did Xbox do that on purpose? Maybe, maybe not, who knows? But they just made a shit ton of money off an obsolete console. I mean, the Xbox One X, good console, but it's about to be obsolete, and people have just 400% increase on sales. It's not a cheap console either. So I assume Amazon and Best Buy and all those places are going to have a lot of returns in the next couple of days. Also, Xbox announced that they have expandable storage, which is great, always good, The Xbox One X has a terabyte hard drive, and the Xbox One S has a 512 gig hard drive, so, if games are going to get bigger, which they say they're not, but, there have been some rumors that games are going to be just as large, you're going to need expandable storage. So it was great, Xbox announced expandable storage today. And then they announced the price. So a 1 terabyte expandable storage for your Xbox is going to cost you a nice, cool £220. Enjoy that. 1 terabyte of storage, £220. That's an insane amount of money. Now, they have said that they're hopefully going to work with third-party developers later down the line and be able to bring that price down. But that's a lot of money for an expandable storage. I don't know if I'd want to pay that. It's about the same as an Xbox One S. So why not just... You pay better off taking that money and just upgrading to an Xbox One X and getting a terabyte storage in your game anyway. But, you know, people are dumb. So, we'll see. Who knows what they'll buy. Okay, next up, we're going to talk about Modern Warfare, because Modern Warfare is about to come up on its 6th and final season. Sort of its crossovers with Warzone, because we assume the Cold War content will be coming after this, so this looks like it's going to be the final season. They've announced some cool stuff. We're going to get a classic Modern Warfare sniper in the R700. The AN-FAL thing, that, you know, great, another AR, nobody really cares. But in Warzone, we're getting subway trains. So there's going to be an underground network of subway trains in Verdansk for you to travel around with your buddies. These, according to Activision, these are going to be the only safe zones in the map, so the trains won't move while you're shooting, which kind of sucks. I would have loved to have, like, train fights. Like a Matrix train fight would have been great. But apparently you're not allowed to fight on the trains, so, we'll see how that works. I guarantee you're not going to see a single train moving, no, in that game. Or people are just... Do you know what people are going to do? People are just going to camp on the trains. Or, I've had an idea, what if you just fill the train with proximity mines? Technically, you're not fighting. And when the train stops... Okay. I'll see how that one goes. We're also going to get 2 new operators in Nikolai and Farah. Cool. I don't really care. So, Nikolai's cool. Farah's a so-so character. But, you know, more operators, more opportunity for Activision to take money away from me. Next up, we've got Nintendo news. It's a fair bit of Nintendo news. I'm just going to rattle it off because some of the stuff is, I don't care. Monster Hunter. We had a Nintendo Direct last week. And we got, was it last week or the week before? Who knows? But there was one. Monster Hunter. We've got 2 Monster Hunter... We've got 2 Monster Hunter games coming to the Switch. We've got the Monster Hunter and then the Monster Hunter Stories. I don't care about these games, and they kind of look trash on the Switch. Who cares? We'll just, you know, Monster Hunter. If you like Monster Hunter, it's coming to the Switch. But I assume if you like Monster Hunter, you've already played the newest one on another console or PC. So, if this is a thing, I guess. They announced a bunch of other games, including like a fitness boxing game with a character called Karen. Again, it was a so-so thing for me. The 3D Mario collection is out. That came out this week. That's cool. Mario 64, Mario Sunshine, and Mario Super Galaxy. The reception seems to be generally good, apart from, you know, 64 being, look, it's an old game. And I don't think these games were meant to be played on the console that they are on now. So there's been a few people complaining about control schemes and stuff like that. There are a few little quirks that in Mario 64 that I do not want to play. Look, Mario 64, great game for the time, but good. Do I want to play it again? No. Objectively these days, bad game. I'm not going to play it again. I'm probably not going to buy this. I'm looking more forward to whatever they do for the news for Zelda's birthday. Those were words. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do for Zelda's birthday. Hopefully, we will get a Ocarina of Time port on the Switch, or maybe a 3D collection for Zelda games, which I'd be way more interested in than some Italian plumber and his friends. Nintendo announced this week that for Hyrule Warriors, there's going to be some bonus content if you have a Breath of the Wild save on that. That's for the new Hyrule Warriors game, Age of Calamity, that's set 100 years before Breath of the Wild. Obviously based on the Dynasty Warriors series. I'll say it, Dynasty Warriors. I sort of enjoyed the last game. It's fun. They're kind of mindless games, but this one has got the same sort of art style to Breath of the Wild, and it's sort of being made in partnership with Nintendo, so I'm actually quite interested to see what they do. It's quite an interesting story, the Age of Calamity, so I'm actually, you know, fairly excited for this game. I'm interested to see it, even if the gameplay is a bit meh. Oh, you cannot, they also announced you can play as Impa, and I'm okay for that. I want to play as Impa. All Impa strats. I'm going to move on to the non-gaming related news now. So Amazon announced that it's working on a Boys spin-off show. It's going to be based around a college that's run by Vought for superheroes. And that's kind of all we know about the show. If the Boys is anything to go off, great, it's going to be fantastic. Apart from that, I can't really tell you anything about it because it's new and we don't know when this is coming. But, you know, Amazon Prime are doing some cool things with the Boys. I've got some faith in them. We'll see if this is a thing or just nothing. In more comic book related news, Black Widow's been delayed again to 2021. I wasn't that excited for this film, but now I just want to get it and get it out of the way. More importantly, Falcon Winter Soldier has been confirmed for 2021. I know they've just gone back into filming that, so that's not too much of a surprise. I'm really excited for that show. I think that character pairing, they have great chemistry, but oh well, we'll have to wait till 2021. You know, if we have to wait till 2021, that they have to make it good and perfect. We've still got WandaVision coming out this year, and that looks incredible. Richard E. Grant has announced that he's going to be in the Loki Disney Plus TV show. I didn't know I needed that. I very much do need that. That's going to be so good. Tom Hiddleston and Richard E. Grant. What a pairing. I don't know what, he hasn't said anything else about what he's going to play, but that is a casting that I very much like. I love Richard E. Grant, and I think he's going to be great in this TV show. And that is the one I'm the most excited for, because Tom Hiddleston is just class as Loki. And in the next coming weeks, we are getting reshoots for Zack Snyder's Justice League, as I believe we're calling it. Despite saying that they were going to only do ADR and voiceover reshoots, Ben Affleck, Gal Gadot will be returning to the set to do reshoots. Henry Cavill was originally planned to be showing up, but he's announced that he's still filming The Witcher. Ray Fisher and Jason Momoa we're not sure about, because Ray Fisher is still in this sort of heated battle with Warner Brothers about his treatment and the treatment of everyone during the production of Justice League. Put out some really gnarly stuff about what went on that set between Joss Whedon and Jeff Johns, so be interesting to see if he actually comes back. He seems to back Zack, but I don't know if he's keen on being involved with Warner Brothers again. But we'll get Ben Affleck's coming back. Good old Schrodinger's back. Keeps saying he won't come back, and he's back again. That's great. So originally the budget for this Zack Snyder Justice League thing was supposed to be $30 million, but apparently it's now being bumped to $70 million, which means that we're almost pushing $400 million for Justice League. Probably. When we get into marketing and everything now, we're, $500 million for this film. This terrible film. They're going to be, I reckon they will have, at the very end of it, it'll be like a cool $500 million that they've spent on this film. So goddamn, I hope Zack Snyder's shot at it is great, because they are throwing money at it. And finally, the news we've all been waiting for. This is why I've left it till last, because we're all super excited for it. I cannot wait. I've just been teeming with excitement that James Cameron has announced that Avatar 2 has finally finished filming. Yes! And he's also announced that 3 is almost done. Excuse me a minute. Yeah. No, but seriously, I hate those films. That film is terrible. I don't know why they're making more of them. Will I go see them? Yes, because I'm kind of interested to see what he does with this. But James Cameron's a madman now. I'm fully decided that he's insane and that he should not be allowed to make any more films. I think the last film he endorsed was Terminator Genisys. So, do we trust him? No. Is he just going to make Dance with the Wolves again? Probably. Is it going to be the highest grossing film of all time? Not a fucking chance. If he wanted to make an Avatar sequel, he should have made an Avatar sequel in 2010, after Avatar became the highest grossing film of all time. Not waited until 2020. This film's not coming out until, 2022. I hate these films so much, and I'm not excited for them. So, well done, James Cameron. Good job, buddy. And now we move on to my recommendations for the week, which is the part of the show where I recommend things that I've been watching. Doesn't have to be a new thing, can be an old thing. It's just things I'm enjoying. So this week, I started listening to a new podcast on the... Look, I listen to a lot of podcasts on this network, but it's on the Sans Pants Radio Network. I've been listening to Scaredy Boys, which is 3 dashing Australian chaps talk about films that they are scared of, mostly horror films. And the most recent episode is about the Kiefer Sutherland film Mirrors, which is a god-awful film, and if you've not seen it, you should watch it just for the entertainment of how bad it is. It's Kiefer Sutherland fighting mirrors. That's all I'm going to tell you about it. But the podcast is really good. The guys are really interesting. They have a great host of guests on there, and it's just overall very funny. Next up in my recommendations, one of the best YouTube channels in the world went on a little bit of a weird hiatus, and they're back. The Zac and Jay show are back. Go watch their new video. It's great. That's what I've been very excited for this week. One of them changed their name to Elon Musk's baby X-AE-Archangel 12 or whatever it's called. And finally, Worlds is happening. I recently got back into playing quite a lot of League of Legends. So it's the World Championships for League of Legends on the way. It's happening right now. You can watch it on Twitch. If you have no interest in League of Legends, it's still quite interesting to watch. That game is really difficult to play, and I take my hat off to everyone that's pro team on it. I'm putting my money on someone to win. I know, maybe 4 teams. I want the Unicorns of Love to win, because they've got a funny name, and that's it. That's fun. If you like esports, that's on this week. And I think that'll wrap it up for the news this week. Knowing my luck, there will be a huge bit of news announced in about 5 minutes when I start editing this show. So we'll talk about that next week. But until next time, I shall see you next week.